which I did not. All right, guys, this is our Sunday night setup, but you may be watching this on Monday morning or Monday night or whenever it works for your schedule, and that is okay. I do have some things that I want to share, but I will tell you that last week, this little guy right here was my best friend. And the reason for that, you can see like the little pockets where I work the Lavelle business. Then you've got, this is my husband and I have a handyman business. So you've got our little bee guy here, and I played bunco on Friday nights. I almost forgot that I had bunco, which you don't ever want. By the way, if you play bunco, you cannot forget, because they need 12 people. And a girl forgot this Friday, and we had to play with a ghost, and we named her Sylvia. And somebody called Sylvia a slut. She was just a ghost, and nobody was drinking either. We were just having a good old time. But anyways, I digress. It's just a little funny story for you, but I will tell you that, look, this didn't happen, so I just moved it, right? But if you don't have something to start out, like if you don't have anything to work with, if you're just like, all right, I'm going into my week blind, I'm going to tell you right now that one of the first things that's going to fall by the wayside probably is going to be your Lavelle business. And I'm just going to say that and be honest with you, because for a lot of us, we have full-time other things that we do. We have kids. We've got all these other responsibilities. And so it's like the blessing and the curse of Lavelle, right? It's a blessing because it's always there, but it's always there. So we have to make that decision to carve out the time. That's why I absolutely love that we are meeting in the mornings for our masterminds, or what are we calling them? Our power hour. I don't even know what to call them anymore. Team power mornings. It doesn't matter what you call them. They're awesome because they start out your day on the right foot and it gets you going. If you're messaging people first thing in the morning, right? And you're plugging in or you're commenting on things, then when you have your 5 minutes or 10 minutes later in the day, those messages are coming back to you. People are commenting or liking on your things. So if you're not plugging into those and you're able to, shame, know your name. If you can't, then we get it. We know that people have a lot of stuff, especially during the summer. People are busy. They're going on vacation. Kids have camps and all that kind of stuff. So, but if you can, you should. Okay, that's my little commercial for our weekday morning meetings, and those are at 8 Central Time, 9 Eastern Time. And then, and then we also have day 5 detox. My belly's a rumbling from some fruit that I had earlier. Saturday mornings. So yesterday morning I hopped on, I hate that phrase, by the way, hopped on. Nobody's hopping anywhere. I don't know why we say it all the time when we're talking about Facebook or Instagram. I'm just going to hop on. Please, no. Sheila Fasoni has, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, and I apologize. Fasoni. She's got calls at the same time, or maybe hers are a little later. Yeah, hers are at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And so I got on that call on Saturday and got super fired up. And guys, I got another customer this weekend. So I will tell you that if you continue to stay plugged in, it works, right? You have to plug in and you have to do the income producing activity. And I promise you, you will see results. It might not be right away. Sometimes we go through little lulls too, and we have to like check our mindset, and we have to make sure, and sometimes we have to change things up a little bit. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe I want to try something different on Instagram, or maybe I want to do this. Which reminds me, one of the trainers on Saturday morning, because they also did a working Zoom later, she said that she was talking about going live on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And I was like, how are you doing that? Like, is there somewhere that I can go where I can go live and it will go out on all 3 platforms? Please, I need to know this, right? She literally sets up 3 different devices, one on TikTok, one on Instagram, one on Facebook, and goes live at the same time. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try that one day this week, see how it goes. But because I have the time scheduled, and this is my last week, by the way, we're going to go through some little tips to set up this week if you haven't already done that. But when you have this set up and you have that little time carved out for your business, it doesn't only help your business flow better, then you're able to set it down, because that's really where I struggle, because I, number one, have workaholic, I almost said alcoholic. I have workaholic tendencies, and I work so hard at things, especially when I'm passionate about them. So when I know that I've got 2 hours on Thursday to work my Lavelle business, when the 2 hours are over, Sarah, lay it down. It's okay. You can step away, live your life, do the things. Am I going to answer messages and do things in between? Yeah, probably, but not if I'm doing something that's important to me. I went and had, like I went for a car ride on Friday or Saturday with Tempest, and I didn't do anything business related during that time. And it wasn't even on my schedule. It was like, oh, I have a little pocket right here that I didn't schedule anything. Let's go for a ride in the Bronco, open the moonroof, blast some music, go get an acai bowl. And it was glorious. But you can do more of those things and enjoy your life if you take the things that are hard for you to do or that you don't want to do and you make time for them, right? There's a book that came out years ago called Eat the Frog. And it was literally based on the premise of, if you knew when you woke up in the morning that sometime that day you had to eat a frog, it's not the most pleasant thing, right?
Or it's 50%.
I'm going to throw something at it in a minute. You would eat the frog. Why would you not? Why would you not just eat the frog, get it over with, and it's done for the day, right? Rather than thinking all day about, I have to eat the frog. I have to eat the frog. Oh my gosh, I really have to eat that frog. What? And then your entire day is ruined because you're thinking about something that you could just do and get it done with. Now, I don't recommend eating frogs, although I've heard frog legs are pretty good, but you get the premise, right? You get the point. Okay, so a couple of things when managing your time and planning out your week. First of all, you have to find a system that works for you. This is brand new for me, okay? When Talia asked me to do the Sunday night setups, I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to really dig in and find a new system that's gonna excite me. And I get to use Canva, which excites me. And so I was like, okay, I'm all in. So this weekly calendar, by the way, blank is in our team page. You can print it out. I know it's on big paper, but sorry, if you really need legal size paper, I will mail you some. Okay, just message me. I need legal size paper and your address, and I will send you some if you want to print it. But you don't even have to print it. You can literally leave it in Canva and have it on your computer, like as your background for the week. Put it in your phone in Canva and you have it right there. I also use my Google Calendar, right? Because your girl needs reminders for things. So if something is important, like this week, one of the first things that has to go in my schedule, because I also have this, which I didn't really use very well for a long time, but now I use it to take notes on different calls. And when we do our power mornings, I'm using this to write down the names of the people that I am making meaningful connections with, so that I can later go back and put them into Teamsy, which is a great app and an amazing business. You can write it off. It's an expense. I think I pay $20 a month, and it helps you to follow up with people. It even gives you scripts for what to say when you're making connections with people. And there's tons of free training on there. So that's a commercial for Teamsy. But rather than me going into Facebook, messaging somebody, then going into Teamsy and tracking it, right? And I could even leave it in the calendar, but I'm scribbling so fast and trying to get through so many that I'm just going back and putting them into Teamsy later. So find a system that you like using, whether it's your Google Calendar on your phone, whether it's a planner, whether it's the weekly calendar that we have. I mean, you have all these tools at your fingertips, and sometimes it can seem like a lot. So you go to the team page, especially for new people, and you're like, whoa, like there's all these tools, right? You are not meant to use every single tool. So think of yourself as coming into the team page with a tool belt on, and then taking out the tools that you like, putting it in your tool belt. Take maybe take 2 or 3 tools that you really like, put them in your tool belt, and then for the love of God, use them. And you give them enough time for you to see, is this tool bringing me joy? And is it working, right? Is it pushing me on to where I want to be next? So it's important that you find a system, and we have lots of them, and we're in the process of creating more tools for you to use. But don't get overwhelmed. Pick and choose a few, put them in your tool belt, walk away, and then go use them. And then every now and then just come back and say, oh, you know what? I heard so-and-so talking about this. I think I'm going to use that. All right. But you want whatever tool, whatever system that you pick, you want it to bring you joy, because when you have joy and you're bringing that to your business, there's something magical that happens about people being attracted to that. Even if you're in a message, like it's crazy. It's all about the energy that you're putting out there, and you're going to get back what you put out. So make sure that you enjoy what you're doing, whatever system you pick. The next thing is to be realistic. Like, I look at my schedule for the week, and there's actually things that I need to add this week that I didn't put last week. Like, maybe your girl needs, a couple hours to do laundry, or sweeping and mopping the kitchen floor. Just things around my house that need to get taken care of. And you're probably saying, Sarah, but don't you have teenagers? If you'd like to come over and get my teenagers to do those things, more power to you. No, actually, my boys just cleaned their bedroom today, like deep cleaned, and I had nothing to do with it. And it was literally a bona fide miracle from the Almighty. So anyway, I can't talk bad about them because they did do something good today. Okay. So be realistic. That's number 2. I'll make a graphic and post it in the comments so that you have all of these tips from tonight. But create a system that you like using, be realistic, and then find out when you work best. I like the mornings. I think it's because my dad growing up used to always be like, if somebody would call him in the afternoon, he would say, why don't you call me in the morning when I'm fresh? like he was less fresh in the afternoon. I don't know. So I say mornings, yep, get me started on the right track. I do my prayer and Bible study time. That's the first thing that I do in the morning, because I'm setting my intentions for the day, that I want everything that I do to bring glory to God. And so I start out with that, and then I move into whatever movement my body is doing for the day. So I take care of my soul and my spirit and my body. So I do my yoga, or I'll go for my walk, or whatever it is that I'm doing that day. And I have it planned out. Now, maybe one day, I live in Florida. It's hot here. I mean, that's putting it lightly. So some days I'm like, oh, might skip the walk this morning because I walked outside and it was like a wet blanket on my face of humidity. So I would do yoga instead that day. But work when you work best, especially since this is something that you can work in the nooks and crannies. If you know that you're a night owl, then schedule your time to do your Lavelle stuff in the evenings. It kind of seems like a no-brainer, but it's good to look at. If you're best in the morning, then carve out your time in the mornings. Also, on top of your schedule, try to have a list of things. And this is my task for today that I'm going to do. Once I get my full schedule for the week set up, I'm going to make a list of things that are not necessarily scheduled, but I know are important. For example, this Saturday, we're doing a live Thrive and Mingle, like a local in person. And I know that I need to get a sign for that. I probably need to pick up like snacks and things on Friday. I need to pick up the key to the place that we're using. So that may not all be like scheduled out, but it's all on my list of things to do when I'm out and about, or when I'm, taking an impromptu trip when somebody needs a ride somewhere. You know what I'm talking about. So that filler list is going to go in the places where maybe you don't have something specifically scheduled. And then break it down. If you have something that's a big project, I'm trying to think of an example. So my husband and I, we have the handyman business, and I know that he's got a big landscaping job coming up next week, and we've got people that are coming to work on that job. Like, I might not be able to sit down all at one time and do all of the tasks that have to do with that. But if I can do a little piece here and a little piece there, it will also prevent you from procrastinating. Okay. So if you break down your tasks, and again, the teacher comes out, right? We talk about scaffolding, like, and my degree was in teaching children with special needs. So I did that for a lot of years. You have to take things and put it in smaller chunks, but it works for everyone. It actually works really well. So break them down, turn them into baby steps, and it also will prevent you from getting overwhelmed and anxious about the bigger tasks. Also, if there are things that you can set up that will make your life easier, at least, well, in all areas, but in your Lavelle business, some things that I would recommend that have really helped me, just in this last month, I've been using them, and they are awesome. Talia had asked us to do a video for just explaining what to do when someone gets a sample pack, so that when they get that sample pack, all you have to do is send them the video with the instructions, and they can go back and watch it over and over if they have questions, right? So I have sent that out probably at least 5 different times. Well, I've got 5 samples out right now. So people are like, well, what do I do? Well, people also don't always follow directions. Okay. So I've got paper directions in the sample pack itself, and then I send them the link with the video. This it's a time saver, because then people aren't asking me random questions. Like when they read, oh, you should probably stay off of the caffeine, I talk about that in my video. So it's taking time to make one video. Hey, Grace, still on the call, whistling Dixie over there with no shirt on. He's cute though, so we'll forgive him. Send that video out. No questions. And then I got like 4 responses back that were like, great video. Thanks for that. That was super helpful. Bravo. You just saved me from typing the same answer to the question, 5 different times. Well, why can't I have caffeine? Listen, it's in the video. What else is helpful? What I'm saying, all these questions, if you make a video and you have a link, so you upload it to YouTube, which Talia, myself, anyone is happy to show you how to do. And then all you have to do is share that link, and it frees up your time. Okay. Also, something that's super helpful is a placing your first order video. And my phone has a screen record option. I don't have an iPhone. I have a stinky, it's not stinky, my Android, but I can screen record, literally go through and show someone. It records my voice. And so I have like a 2-minute video when somebody says, okay, I'd like to try this for 30 days. The sample pack I saw how easy that it was, and I'm ready to jump in. I don't have to talk them through, well, which DFT do I pick? Well, why would I pick the single serve over the canisters? It's all in my video. And I just send it. And I can send it to people on the team who have new customers. Doesn't matter that it's my face. I mean, I happen to like my face, so I'm like making my own videos. But if you don't have them yet, we're working on those tools. And if you want those videos, I will send you to my YouTube page and you can check them out. There's also some promoter training things on there. So when you set up systems that are going to help you not have to spend as much time answering the same question 10 different times, that's also going to help you with setting up your week. Okay. Focus on the task and just complete the task, not necessarily the emotional part of the task. I know it's hard sometimes because if you're sending a message to someone, you saw that they are super tired and you're like, oh man, they would be great. I would love to introduce them to Thrive, but you got a little bit of like, oh, I don't really know what to say. Just do it. Focus on completing the tasks that you have set out to do, not on the emotions connected to them. Okay. That's important. And then try and establish routines if you can. So if you know that like every morning during the weekdays, we're meeting at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, that is a routine that now we can, when we bring new team members on, we can plug them into that routine. And repetition, 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 that leads to duplication. When people see, oh, there's a routine. We know that every morning during the week, we can get on this call and it's a working Zoom. But if we have questions, if we wanted to chat, like that's a place for you to connect with other people that are building their Lavelle business. And that's important, whether or not they're on your team. Like sidelines, he's probably not as loud to you as he is to me, but I told him like 5 times. You're loud, okay? It's like the 4th time. I love him. So, if you haven't already, take time to look at last week, see what worked for you last week, what did not work for you last week, tweak it, change it, set up your week this week, start with the things that are important. What kind of stuff do you have going on with your kids and your family? What other obligations do you have with your church or clubs or any other kinds of things? Maybe doctor's appointments. I have a massage this week, so that's definitely one of the first things that I'm putting on my calendar. Once you fit all that in, and then, okay, I work from 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Maybe within that 9 to 5, you know that you get breaks. In that break, just write, this is when I'm going to message my samplers, or this is when I'm going to follow up with my customers. But all of these things, if you start implementing them, and I know I gave you a lot of information, but take one thing and do that. Don't keep coming to trainings and listening and then not doing the things that you hear on the trainings, because then you're going to look back in 3 months and be like, well, I don't really think that this works, or I don't know. You deceive yourself. When you hear the things that you should be doing and you don't do them, you heard them. So it's like you think you did them, but you didn't actually. So make sure you're getting out there, you're doing the income producing activity. You have control of your time. Don't let your time have control of you. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you have a great week, and I hope that I will see you guys on our morning calls. Okay, love
Thank
you.
you, Sarah. This was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.